Universal Studios are building a brand new theme park here in the UK that will open in 2031. And since its announcement, all we really have to look at is this major concept art piece, showcasing brief looks at what all the areas could be, and you can see certain roller coasters, indoor rides, but it's quite hard to tell what everything is, which is why I took it upon myself to recreate what we've seen already in Planet Coaster 2, so we can get a full 3D simulation of how it would feel to be at Universal Studios Great Britain just 6 years early. And having built the entrance area, the main street and the hotel, it is now time to start building the first areas in the park, one of which is quite small and I'm gonna need your guys' help with it later on in this video, and the other is a major area in the park, Minions Land, and I have began recreating all of that as our first major area of Universal Studios UK. So be sure to watch till the end to see a full tour of what I've done so far, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so you don't miss future episodes of this series and any future updates regarding Universal Studios Great Britain, because trying to cover it as best I can on this channel for you guys and keep you in the loop of what is happening with the project and what we can expect from the project as well, because this recreation series solely exists so that we can look back on this eventually and see what the entire park will be like when we visit it for real in 2031, because obviously things are going to change from then, and hopefully I can update them as time goes on and we can have this recreation, have loads of different versions and everything. It's going to take a while, as you've already realised, because this is episode 4 and we're only just starting the first main area. There's so much to discuss in this episode. As you can see, I'm already building the Minion Land entrance. This is the first area you're going to properly see off to the right when you go out of Main Street. Well, it's actually not the first area you're going to see, but proper area, let's say, because it's a major part of the park. There is something smaller just before this that I will talk about later, and as I said in the intro, I'm going to need your guys' help with it. But yeah, there's so much to discuss. There's obviously this area that we're building, the other area, there's so much about the series in general, what's happened, why was it on such a pause for ages, loads of stuff to go through. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode as much as I have making it, even though I haven't made it yet because I've just built the stuff for it. You get what I'm trying to say. With the base of that sign now complete, you can now see I've moved over to the right and I'm starting to build something out of art shapes. And this is the fun part about this entire project, starting right here, that there's going to be so many things made out of art shapes because you can't get a lot of pieces in the game that would relate to a Universal park. So it's been quite fun being able to do that so far. Can't wait to do more of it, because I've been building minions, as you can see. Look at this minion. I don't know what this one's called. Is it Bob, Kevin, something like that? You can see me making minions right here. I knew the sign was going to have minions around it. That's what the one in Beijing has, which sort of links to how I know how this whole area is laid out, which I'll get onto later. And I thought I'd make a couple different versions. You couldn't make the G too small, so I couldn't put a G on their sort of overalls, because that's what it usually has in the films, where it says Gru. I had to do a lot of research into minions, I'm afraid, so I had to try and make it as accurate as possible. So I ended up making the Gru logo out of art shapes as well. Sadly, that can't fit that downscaled on the minions as much as you can go to 5% now, which is amazing. A lot of it couldn't fit on the minion itself, so that is going to be used for future use. You'll see that very big and up on one of the walls very, very soon in the area. But yes, some of the arms going in, I love this so much. Like, one of them looks a bit scary, can't lie to you, but the others do look really funny and I really do like it. And yeah, the arms, the hands, and then we place that on here, and they can be downscaled, upscaled. You can make them as big or small as you want. As you can see, he's dangling down from some cables there. Very, very nice. But whilst I build the rest of this, how do I know what that entrance sign looks like? How do I know what the layout of this area is to the precise dot? Here's the scary one, by the way, with the mouth and the teeth. You'll see more of him later. It's kind of scary, and I don't really have many of them in the area because I think I would scare myself whilst building. But there you go, there's the teeth. What is that? It works for now, I guess. How have I known what to build and where? Well, if you don't know, there is a Universal Studios theme park in Beijing. It's quite a new one. I think it might actually be the newest one. Why does he look sad? There we go, he's happy. It's quite a new one. I think it might be the newest one in the world before Universal Bedford comes around. And this park has a Minions Land, and it looks a lot like this. If I remember to put up a image on screen, it's got a sort of like fake roller coaster at the top, and you can see in the concept art anyway, it looks very similar to this area on the concept art for Bedford. And yeah, it's quite interesting seeing the similarities there, seeing the differences. And it just is the Beijing Minions Land. Like, there's so many different things that point towards it being the exact replica of it. And I don't really mind that, you know. The Minions Land in Beijing looks like a lot of fun. It's very colourful. Of course, Minion-wise at the parks, they don't really have much stuff that's very good. So you've got Minion Mayhem, an incredible ride. You've also got the Villain Con Blast thing. These are all in Florida I'm talking about. And then there's a weird area in Hollywood, and there's like a new one in Singapore. I would say the best looking one is going to be the Beijing one. Not that I've been, so that means it would also be the Bedford one, because I assume we'll get a newer version of it. But that entrance sign is in a little sort of semicircle shaped grass area, and you can see that on the Universal Bedford map as well. And then we go out to that huge on the water type pier thing, which is Super Silly Funland. Yes, that is also in Beijing. I'm going to say that a lot this video because there's a lot of similarities. Pretty much just using the reference of the Beijing land to recreate that and put it in this game for the Bedford version. So technically that section of it is a recreation, not a pre-creation anymore. It's been really fun to do. It's pretty much not half complete. I'd say a third of it is done at the time of recording this, so there's still a little bit left to do. No rides have been built yet. I'm just building the facades for the area. Next episode will be all of the ride hardware going in and also finishing it up. But yeah, it's just been a lot of fun to get back into this project, because quickly before we go back into talking about what is going on in the Minions Land, I want to talk about what has happened to this series. Now, of course, it has been a very long time since the last episode. I'm pretty sure when I first started this series, we were on a bounce of maybe doing one every 2 weeks or something. It hasn't been an episode for about 2 months now, if not longer, which I sincerely apologise about. But at the same time, it's a lot like Isle of Discovery was, where if I didn't feel the motivation or I didn't have the time to do it, I wouldn't want to rush it and make it way worse than it could be, and then just completely ruin the series later down the line, because I might sit there and think, oh, I should have gone back and redone this properly and all that stuff. So I decided to leave it for a while whilst I focused on our actual major park that was on this channel, Isle of Discovery, which is now complete and out on the workshop. Thank you to anyone that's downloaded it or said any nice things in the comments about it throughout the series in general. It was amazing. It's still really sad that it's finished, but I can guarantee you, even this Universal Park is some good insight into how the next custom park is going to go. I won't say any more about that. But Isle of Discovery had a lot of different rides and roller coasters and all that stuff. As you can imagine, it took up a lot of my time, and doing that, videos in general, other series like this past week in theme parks, which takes a while to research and stuff each week, I just couldn't fit this series in, so I decided to delay the Universal Studios Great Britain project until after I had finished Isle of Discovery. And now we finished that, why not bring back this series after a 2-month plus hiatus? I feel like it needs to happen. I know I've got 6 years to build this, but I can guarantee you, if I start building certain areas, we'll get to a point where they'll update the concept art and show us full videos diving deep into what it's like, and mine will look nothing like it. So I want to get ahead whilst I can and make a lot of the park before we see any more news, because again, I want to try and experience it way before it opens as well. And of course, have said it many a times, if the concept art does change and it pretty much wipes out half the areas I've built, I will go back and recreate them again as the different areas in the park. I'm sure the park actually won't change shape very much, so I will literally be able to take the rides out and just retheme them and do loads of other stuff to it. It won't be too big of a deal. Of course, it will be annoying because I would have recreated so much stuff anyway, and then I've had to get rid of it all. But it'll be fun nonetheless. And I don't know when we're going to see those announcement videos. Maybe at some point over the next couple years. I think Epic Universe's announcement videos were like 3 or 4 years before it opened, so we might not be far off seeing them. Who knows? But yeah, this Minion Land was a godsend though, I can't lie. As much as it probably isn't the best area that Universal have ever built, as I said, it looks like the best Minions Land. I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, looking at some of the photos and videos that I've been looking at, I really like the look of it. I'm really excited for this to come to Bedford. if it does. And hopefully walking through this later on, you can get a good idea of so far what it might feel like. And then when we're fully finished it, we can go on the rides and we can do loads of stuff like that. It's going to be great, great fun. After building the main foundations of where Silly Funland, or Super Silly Funland it's called, I think, where that is, building all of the wooden structure around that, some of the archways for the windows, I decided to head over to these buildings over here, because there's no point in working just on one side of the Minions Land and then having the complete other side blank. You might as well do it all linearly, if that's a word. So as you go through the area, you can see the full thing being built as we go. So here are some buildings. I think these are inspired very much from Secret Life of Pets, or just sort of, again, Minion style buildings, the illumination animation style. It's a very quirky design at times. And as you can see, these buildings are very quirky and different heights, and you'll see a lot of that later on, where there's buildings that look twisted and the roof's collapsing, even though that's the design of it. It's pretty cool, but at the same time, it made a tough challenge to try and build in this game. But that's part of the fun, so I don't really mind that too much. Another challenge that came with this entire area, and the whole concept art in general, is something that we've seemed to have noticed more the more we look at it, whenever we actually discuss in depth what is going on in the concept art. Now, of course, you can see various parts of this area, the Minions Land. You can see these buildings that I'm doing, and that is how I've got the inspo from there. But there's one thing to the left of this that I'm going to start making in a minute that you can't see on the concept art, but it is in the Beijing land. And that is a bake shop. I think it's called Bake My Day, and it's a very pink octagonal building, and it's really, really nice. And it looks like a really nice shop, actually. But it's not on the concept art. Where is it supposed to be? It is supposed to be where these blurred trees are on the left of these buildings. The trees around the map on the concept art look very painted in, like properly done, handcrafted, you know. Those trees there look photoshopped, they don't look real. It's definitely blurred to hide something underneath it, and I think they are hiding that bake shop. So yeah, I've decided to put that there. You can see there's so many different places in the concept art that are blurred and you can see have been photoshopped. The more you look into it, the more you notice. The Super Silly Funland entrance to that actual pier shaped thing is on the left hand side. You can see the sort of pathway I've done to it just off to the left under that sort of alien mouth type thing. That is a completely different building in the Universal Great Britain concept art, but those buildings are just copied from the other side with a weirdly painted roof on them. So again, I feel like they've just blurred stuff and photoshopped it out to try and make it seem less obvious as to what it is. Us theme park fans can notice though. We notice what they are, and we know that is the entrance to Super Silly Funland, and we know that this is a bake shop, so I started building this. It's a very fancy looking thing. It's got like a cupcake at the top as well, and a minion sat on top of it with binoculars. Very, very cool. I do love this land. It does look really colourful. It looks amazing, especially for the younger demographic as well. They'll absolutely love it. And it doesn't look like, again, Universal's best themed area, but I just really like the vibe of it. It just looks fun. And I think that's the whole point of it. So I actually do kind of hope we do get this in the UK. As much as I would obviously like different themes, they've got to have some sort of family area like this. As much as they do have Paddington and a few other things as well, it's their main demographic. They're going to shoot for that. So yeah, I'm just happy it's not a DreamWorks area just yet, because you never know. I could have just jinxed it. I really hope I haven't. But the roof trims are going in on this building now. Duplicating it across. Of course, you can't really do octagonal buildings in this game, so it's been quite tough actually having to try and make that out of different pieces and then duplicate them across and then duplicate them round in a circle. You get what I mean. It's a bit complicated, but you get there eventually. And this bake shop does look really, really nice. Yeah, after this, there is a whole strip of buildings along the left-hand side of this building that then leads to like a massive... I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a square building that just keeps going up and outwards, called the Lair in the Beijing one. I think it's a eatery, like a restaurant. That looks quite cool. That I'm going to be building as well. There's so many different things in this area that have been like taken out of the concept art for Universal Great Britain. It's really funny to see. and I can't wait to go around like the Jurassic Park sections, the Back to the Future sections, and just see how much more has been taken out, because I can guarantee you there's going to be things around every corner, which when you've got an area like this that you know what's in it, and I can actually recreate it from Beijing, and you can sort of know what the inside of buildings is going to look like and what they're going to look like in general. When there's other places blurred out, it might be quite difficult for me to actually get them correct, which is probably where it's going to start going wrong. But we'll try our best. I just can't believe they decided to Photoshop out a bake shop in a Minion Land over a marmalade jar in the Paddington Land. Like, what's more obvious, I wonder. There goes the Minion with the binoculars, plural, because I changed the eyes, as you can see. And then we just make that go outwards. Oh, I love building stuff like this. I don't really build with art shapes very often, but when you get them right, it really does look cool. Like, I absolutely love what I managed to do with the Minion there. And eventually I do actually put him on a moving platform, so he is rotating around very slowly on lookout around the area. Maybe that's what would have given it away. Binocular Minion. But there is also so many different buildings from certain angles that you can't see as well. But these buildings you can see. These are the sort of street looking buildings where Gru lives, or the main house from Despicable Me is situated in this street. I'm now building one of the smaller houses along the side of it. I really do like how, unlike Universal Florida, the way that sort of just has Gru's house just in the middle of nowhere. I love how this area makes the street out of it, and then you've got his house, so it fits in really well. And you've also got the factory in the background with the Gru logo on it. I'll show you that in a bit, but there's just genuinely so much going on in this area that I actually really, really like. It might be an unpopular opinion, I don't know, but I've never been. I would say I'm going to go and trek out there and find out what's there, see it for myself, and what's the point? I can wait 6 years and I can just go to the one in this country. But it does look really, really cool, and I'm trying my best to recreate it as best I can. So this is quite an easy one, actually, because these houses just get duplicated across 3 or 4 times each side of Gru's house as well, so that one's really easy. And you just put some wood in to make the roof slats here. I have once again, I think I've already said this multiple times this episode, but I'm going to say it again. I've just really enjoyed getting back into recreating. There's nothing better than, obviously, when you're building a custom park, you build an area you really like the look of, and you look back at it and you go, I can't believe I built that. When it comes to recreations, you look at videos and photos of a real place, and then you look back at it once you've built it and you go, damn, that actually does look real compared to the real thing. And there's a different kind of sort of satisfaction when you do that, and I have missed that, and I'm getting it from this project already, which is really cool. I'm really happy with how it's looking. The really happy comments now moved from Isle of Discovery to this, I feel. But I just genuinely really enjoy getting back into it, so expect some more recreations in the future. Obviously, there is that custom park that I'm going to be building, the brand new one. If you missed the most recent This Past Week in Theme Parks, there was actually a hint to what the theme of it is going to be. As much as people think it's going to be one theme when they hear what it is, no, there's going to be so many different themes. You guys are going to have such an influence on what themes are going to be in there as well. If you have any cool suggestions for the type of thing I'm looking for, then obviously suggest them in that first episode when it comes out in a couple of weeks' time. But we're here talking about the recreation. We're not custom parking right now. We recreating out here. As you can see, the houses duplicating across more of that wall. The minions have moved, and then we've got this fake tree wall behind. I decided to make it a little bit less flat because I don't really like flat tree walls. I think it looks disgusting, so I changed that here. Put some trees in, and we should be good to go into real time. Welcome back to the entrance of Universal Studios Great Britain. It's been a while since I've actually stood in this plaza area. And wow, look at the globe spinning. It's lovely to be back walking under this archway as we enter into the park. It's really nice to have smooth gameplay for once. There's a few little lags here and there, but isn't it nice to just have normal 60 FPS? I am way too used to massive parks just lagging this computer out. As you can see, we're still in the main street. You've got the hotel off to the left, which of course enters in on the other side of this wall, not in the park. You've got like the pushchair section that we spoke about, even the shop in there, and then we head out to this main view, which doesn't look complete yet, but it's getting there. Because since the last episode, you won't have seen these buildings here off to the right. As you can see, very simple buildings, nothing special, with some seating outside of it. I might extend the seating to go on this path a little bit. I don't know yet. But that exists there, and then if you continue walking down, we now have a new section of the park, which, yes, I forgot to time-lapse. I do sincerely apologise. Seems to be a common occurrence for me, but this was a pretty bog-standard area to build, because this right here is the little fishing sort of restaurant area that we saw on the concept art. Once again, I'll show that on screen now. Yep, you can see that little building and the sort of decking out to the front of the lake. Yep, this is this exact location with the lake right here, and it's got a front section with some takeaway stands, and then in there would be a proper, maybe a sit-down restaurant, maybe just another takeaway thing. But it's a very fishing village style vibe, so I'm going to ask you guys what name you think I should give to this takeaway restaurant, because I think you guys could come up with some really good names there. But also for this thing here. Now, there is obviously the rumor that this little section here before the Minions Land, oh my god, that was a jump scare, that this entire small area before the Minions Land could be themed to Jaws, which would make sense because you can see this little platform here, which could definitely have the wooden structure with the shark dangling down on it. And also, this building has a huge warehouse behind it, so it could definitely be for a dark ride. And with the fishing village style vibe, I do think this is going to be a Jaws themed area. So with that being the case, I need some ideas for this dark ride right here. What shall I name it? What theme shall I go for? Should it just be the classic Jaws story where there's a shark and you're going around a boat? What do you think I should do in there? Not a coaster, but a dark ride system. Whether it be a boat ride or not, I'd love to see your guys' suggestions, and then next episode we can theme all of this up and get that done. Because for now, of course, I have been working on the Minions Land. You've been seeing this come together in this episode, and as you can see, you've got those small buildings off to the right. Bake My Day right in front with the minion with the binoculars. Is he going to spin round? Here we go. Whoa. And then off to the left, the Minion Land entrance with the terrifying looking minion in the back. Obviously, just writing Minion Land didn't feel right, so I actually had to go and make a custom font for it in the game. And once again, that was done with art shapes, which again shows you what is possible with the parks now that we haven't got a massive theme park like Isle of Discovery to work with. That sort of sense of detail. Outside of Bake My Day, you've got these cupcake sort of cases as planters. And then over here, you've got the entrance to Super City Funland, which is unfinished right now. We're going to be doing this next episode. We'll have a walk in quickly. Yeah, it's literally just a plain room, and there'll be loads of stuff in here. There's a roller coaster, a few flat rides, game stalls. All that will be done next time, but you've got some minions chilling out in the water next to it, spraying water themselves. There's a little food van here that I still need to build, and then you've got some seating over on the left as well. Over on the right, you've got more fishing village style buildings, so again, that could link with the Jaws area a little bit, but it's sort of just following what Beijing has. There are the crooked buildings I spoke about, and the huge square building as well. And opposite that, there's a few more buildings here with the coaster that's fake on the top of the building. I forgot to even mention that. Yeah, that is a fake coaster. That's on the concept art and in the Beijing one, and it looks quite funny. But either way, this section here is still under construction because, again, Super City Funland isn't complete, so we will get to that next episode. Same with all of this side. You have the Minion Mart directly in front. There it is. Look at the eye. Damn, that is a spooky eye. That's probably the main gift shop in the area, unless I haven't looked over there enough. But there is also some minions climbing up this wall. And then you will get more towards where the main ride in the area is, Minion Mayhem, which will just be located over here past these houses. And you've got minions getting stuck in pipes and everything along these houses as well. Plus Gru's Factory, which I didn't mention, but is up here with the logo that I mentioned. Yeah, look at that. And overall, this area does take up quite a bit of space compared to other areas in the park already. I mean, the Jaws area is tiny compared to half of this. But I do love how colourful and how nice it all looks, and I really can't wait to see the rest of the area unfold around here. As we usually do, I'm going to do a side-by-side quickly, or like a fade in and fade out of what it looks like so far, so you can see in front of us, this is the park I've been building, and then we fade it out into the concept art. I don't know if it looks anything similar right now, but to me it does. Except from some of the colours and stuff, which I've changed to link more towards what it looked like in real life. Be sure to stay tuned for the next episode coming very soon, where I'm going to start building the inside of this land here with the first roller coaster in the park. And I'll also be building some custom flat rides and loads of stuff in there as well. Leave a thumbs up If you did enjoy, leave a comment on what you think of this area and if you are going to enjoy it when it comes to the UK. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that next episode and any other updates on Universal to come. Many thanks for watching.